Hey guys, well, as you can see, I've been pretty busy on the Corsair. It is all put together, all in one piece. Oops, I just touched something. What did I touch? I don't know. But either way, everything is working good. Got everything programmed. Trying to get around here without knocking stuff over. Getting the flaps and everything set up was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So those all turned out pretty good. Retracts are operating pretty smooth. I got them a little slower than I think I care for. There it goes. But I think they'll be just fine. Once it's in the air, I think the air going over the landing gear will kind of help push them up a little bit. One little noisy flap. There we go. New servos always like to make a little bit of noise. But yeah, it's coming together pretty good. The paint on the canopy didn't match as close as I would have liked to the monocoat. I think it'll be fine. I'm not too worried about it. I don't know if I'm going to use that same paint for the cowl or not, because that's going to be a lot more noticeable if the match isn't good enough. But I also have to keep in mind that when you're looking at the plane from the side, the bottom is going to be, about here out is going to be white, and about here out is going to be flat black. So it's only going to be a narrow strip of the gray on the cowl. So if I can't get it to match absolutely perfect, I'm not worried about it. It's just an airplane, right? Speaking of cowls, I gave the old beat up ABS cowl on the 47 a little bit of a makeover. Reglassed all the inside in here to make these all strong again. It's all going to crack, I know that, but, everybody told me there's no way that ABS cowl would last. And as you can see, with a little bit of work, a little bit of Bondo, it still looks not too bad. Just had the Toledo show last weekend. My opinion, it was a pretty good show. It's getting smaller, obviously, because certain interests in the hobby just are going away. But what I do like is in the past several years, this year including, there was a lot of booths for building type stuff. A lot of building things, whether it be kits or tools or accessories. There was a lot of stuff involved with building, which I thought was pretty cool. Of course, the introduction of the new Wendell Hostetler Super Chipmunk, I just about peed my pants when I saw it. And to see that National Balsa is already making a kit of the 30% and also an enlarged version of the 40%, which was also on display. Holy crap, I fell in love. So my next project, without a doubt, is going to be a Hostetler 30% Chipmunk. Since, well, that's my favorite airplane. But anyway, this is looking pretty good. Everything is completely programmed. All I'm waiting for is the fuel tank, then I can get the engine running. And I'm going to order the cowl, I think, Friday. Poor guys like me, we gotta wait until payday to start buying stuff. And I'll probably fly it before I get the markings put on and before I get everything painted and the cowl painted. I'll probably just get everything put on there, take it out and fly it. Mainly because I didn't build the airplane as far as the actual structure. The wing I'm not worried about, this being the ARF wing. I made changes to the main weak point, which was the pegs coming out of the front. That's been an extremely weak point for the top flight ARFs, because, we'll use this for example. Let's say this is the leading edge. It is. Well, let's say it's the leading edge up here. And the little dowel that goes in that holds the wing into the front of the fuselage would only go in about this far. And there's like a hard balsa leading edge on there, and that little peg is just about that far. So of course over time they rip right out. So I already took care of that. I got 2 carbon rods going in there pretty far. They're actually epoxied to a rib. They're not going anywhere. But my main concern is the way the push rods are done. Right now the plane is on. This isn't too bad. I mean, it's got some movement. This one I'm not too happy about. Ew, wrinkles. But the way the push rods on this work is they're all internal, but there's a little bit of slop. So there's a wire that comes out here and goes into each elevator. And what I'm going to do is on the bottom, let's say it's right about here is where the wire comes in. I'm going to dig this area out with my knife to expose the wire, and I'm going to fill it with epoxy. I did put epoxy in the holes when I put the elevators on and hinged them, but it's still a little sloppy. So I'm going to do that modification. I'm going to do it on the bottom where you can't see it. The rudder's got some slop, but, just a rudder, it ain't going nowhere. But other than that, it's looking pretty good. Got Captain Bob in there. You can see his custom-made tie wrap harness, which is actually holding him onto his little platform down there. Kind of hillbilly, but, is what it is. So yeah, it's turning out pretty good. Hopefully here in the near future, probably not this month. Well, maybe, never know. But if anything in May, we should be getting this thing in the air. So probably no more on the Corsair until we either get it running or get it in the air. Later.